Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Greg West with Black Community Blackboard. Today, we're coming in and we're going to talk about the importance of health with the women. So many times, we think that we're healthy and everything is going good, but that's not always seen. Underlying issues that we might not know about. So we're going to talk about the importance of health in our Black community for women. Also, the importance of seeing doctors on a regular and making sure you ask questions. Just don't go by what they tell you. And for anybody who's first time viewer, here at Black Community Blackboard channel, we like to emphasize and highlight our Black community leaders, our people who have businesses, who are organization run, CEOs and stuff like that, and just talk about the positive things that are happening in the Black community. It's time for us to set our own narrative. No longer do we have to let people talk about how lazy we are or what bad jobs we're doing. And the only time you see Black people are when they label us angry Black women, angry Black men, drug dealers, and stuff like that, and putting us in the back of police cars. So today's guest is a friend that I met a few years ago, and I've been watching her progress as far as like with hoop fitness. And I think it's very interesting. My girlfriend, when I told her about that I was going to have the hula hoop lady on, she said, "Oh, good, I'm going to watch this," because she used to hula hoop back in the day, and she said she wants to see and have more information on how to stay in shape with doing that. So we have Tasha. Uh, uh, I was used to calling you Mim, so I'm sorry about that. Tasya Lacy today as our guest. So Tasha, please tell everybody hello and give them a
Hello
little
there.
background.
Hi. Well, my name is Tasya Lacy. I'm 55 years old. I am a small business owner of a fitness program called Hoop Fitness. It's hula hooping. I call it aerobic with a twist. And I'm also a heart attack survivor. And I was actually hula hooping when I had that heart attack. I'm a 2020 National American Heart Real Woman spokesperson, as well as a current Survivors Have Heart, which is a program based off of AstraZeneca Foundation and Company. I am a national ambassador for them as well. And I speak on heart health and hula hooping.
So Tasha, when you had your heart attack, from what I was seeing on the video that you have and reading, you thought you were in pretty good shape, huh? At the time, you've been working out and everything like that.
Greg, I thought I was in excellent shape. If you could remember, I was always been into fitness. I've always been into health.
Right.
And I was actually 15 pounds lighter than I am now. So as far as weight, I was 125 pounds. I was working on a six pack. That's what I thought. I thought I was that person on Facebook that told people what to eat, how to eat, don't eat this. I was that person that people didn't want to come to the picnics because I was going to tell you how you shouldn't eat that and drink that. But I was the one that had a heart attack, and I learned a lot. I learned that skinny doesn't constitute healthy. I also learned that even working out and fitness doesn't constitute healthy. That it is it's a full body awareness, and especially in the African American community, we're not aware of our body. We think if we're eating the right things that we're healthy, and it's so much more to that.
So how did it go undetected for so long?
Well, actually, and you were speaking about earlier about as far as going to the doctor and letting them tell us what's wrong with us. First of all, I'm an African American woman, so when I went to the hospital and pretty much told them what was wrong with me, and they listened because I had been having a heart attack for 2 weeks, and I summed it up as a pulled muscle. I believe that I had pulled a muscle and that was it. So when my husband took me initially the first time to the hospital, I went to the ER. They looked at me, and of course, they did an EKJ. And my EKG, it registered normal.
Hmm.
There was no symptom. And of course, they didn't do what they call a troponin test. And it's important. African American, I had never heard of it before,
Hmm.
but they didn't give that to me the first time. They told me, well, you are an African American woman, but you're working out, you're eating right, so you have a pulled muscle. So they gave me muscle relaxers and sent me home. They did no further tests. Um, They didn't bother. They listened to what I thought was wrong with me. It was easy. They say, okay, we're gonna roll with that. We're gonna listen to that. They sent me home with muscle relaxers, but the pain didn't go away, Greg. I
Mm.
kept it intensified till that final day. Actually, 5 years ago today, March
Right,
the
right,
26th, I had that heart attack. I had that, and it was the Widowmaker, 99% blockage to my main artery. I had never heard of the Widowmaker. I thought they were making up a name, but they don't call it a Widowmaker for nothing.
right. It was funny when I seen today on Facebook when I'll go on and I seen that today was your 5 year, anniversary. I said, wow, look at how things work out.
God,
I reached out to you last week, or earlier this week, and I said this would be a good topic, because it really would be, because it's so many things in the community that we don't talk about, and we need to have these conversations, and our health is one. And especially for black women, like you said, we always take for granted that you guys are eating better than us, you staying healthy and everything like that. And a lot of times, because of the way that you guys eat, the way that the women eat, and then you guys are also the ones who feed us, we take it upon ourselves to think that we're going to be healthy off of following what your lead. So
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's
So
the number one killer of African Americans. If you think about it, name three black women that you know. Out of those three, one of them will suffer from heart disease, stroke, or death. It's the number one killer. And that's my spiel, that's my speech. And I try to tell people that all the time that the great it is 1 out of 3 women will suffer from it. But what a lot of people don't realize is that we don't have to die from a heart attack.
right,
It is the only disease that is 80% preventable, 80% chance of surviving it. But we have to be aware. We have to know the signs and symptoms, and we've got to take care of our body. And as black women, we tend to kind of give ourselves excuses as what's wrong with us. Oh, it's a headache, or oh, that man just getting on my nerves and now my head is hurting, or we tend to find everything else, and we take care of everybody else, but we don't take care of ourselves. And it's kind of like being on that plane. They don't tell you to put the oxygen on the first person. They say put
right,
it on yourself first, cover yourself, then you're able to take care of other people. But if we're not taking care of us, it's impossible for us to be physically fit enough, which it can involve other aspects of our life and of our mental.
right. And as you guys being the nurturers of our race, not just our race, but of the planet and our country and everything, it's important that we get information out for the black women to understand some of the things that we need to look forward to. Because I mean, look at even when even when you guys think that you're doing everything right, it's important, the doctor visits and talking to them. And like you just said, that one test that you said that they didn't run, I've never heard of it until you just said it.
Troponin level. When you go in, black people, listen to me. If they give you that EKJ and their monitor and it says, okay, you ask them, have you checked my troponin level? They're going to look at you and they might even say, well, we don't do that test for everybody. Yes, they do. You do not leave that hospital until they give and it's a blood test. They're going to have to draw blood. Let them do it, because that's going to tell them right away. Even if you're in the beginning stages of a heart attack, it's going to let them know your levels are going to go up. They're going to be able to see if you're having a heart attack, to the
Hmm.
point where, Greg, 2 weeks ago, and I don't know, but a couple, I don't know if you know Russell, but one of my husband's friends on the weekend with his wife had a great weekend, went to sleep on a Friday night. She found him dead Saturday morning in his favorite chair in his man cave, died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I hear those stories on Facebook, and as soon as somebody, when one person, 1 minute this person was alive, and the next minute they were dead, and you just talk to them, it breaks my heart, because I automatically go to, it was a heart attack,
Right.
and 9 times out of 10 it was. They were fine this day, and they go home and they go to sleep, and they don't wake up you know and it starts with being fatigued in your body, and they know something is wrong. If you find yourself asking, why am I so tired, man, I'm just so tired, get to a hospital, have them check your troponin levels.
And it's funny. I remember we talking about this, and I remember back in when we were growing up in good times was this thing. And Michael used to always talk about that hypertension was the number one killer of black people. And this is
Yes.
what we've been talking about for over 40 years now. And we
Yep.
still are not taking care of ourselves. And
And
a
we're
lot of
not.
times, a lot of it's on us. We have to admit, take the blame because we don't do. And a lot of times it's also the medical apartheid that goes on. Like you just said, you would have never known about, I would have never known about, getting that test done if I hadn't heard you talk about it.
No.
And how often does that go on in our community? Because I'm talking about just December, I was diagnosed with COVID. It wasn't that bad and everything, but a month later I felt the same symptoms coming on, and I went back to this time it was worse. Temperature 101.9, 102.9. I go to the hospital, emergency room. They tell me they're not going to give me a COVID test because I just had it, so highly unlikely. They give me some aspirin, send me home, and tell me, just hopefully this will break that the temp. I mean the fever. Couldn't take it no more, Tasha. I went back on about 3-4 days later because I still had 102.9. I was near death, really, when I'm talking
Right.
about days of
Right.
102.9.
Right.
They do test, find out that I had pneumonia, and I
Right.
won't leave this time until they checked me for COVID again. And,
That's
and
right.
sure enough, I had COVID. And they were like,
You
that
don't.
was
They can't make you leave. Just like you
right.
can sign yourself out of the hospital if you don't want medical advice, you don't have to leave. And if that doctor or that ER doctor is telling you, they don't know everything. And if that doctor isn't telling you, isn't getting you, request another doctor, and you
Yeah,
don't leave until they find out what's wrong with you.
right.
And you're gonna always find that one. Yes,
And it's important that we do, take care of ourselves. Now, let's talk a
absolutely.
little bit about hoop fitness. Now, how did you start it? How did you? I know you've had it going on for a few years. So, how did you start that, and what was the inspiration for you to start that, Tasha?
Well, that's how I've always worked out. I've loved the hula hoop since I was 9 years old. I did one contest like so many of us did, and um, I also have another rare medical illness. And so when my doctor told me that I needed to find something to do that involved less stress, I picked up the hula hoop. And I used to do it just for fun. Anybody who knows me knows I would get on a Facebook with my hula hoop. And that was how I got into fitness, because the only reason, Greg, that I work out is because I love the hula hoop. And one of the mottos and one of the things that I always tell people is find something you love to do and you move. The only reason I was working out and the only reason I was able to survive that heart attack was because I was working. Had I have been running, had I been doing the treadmill or Zumba or any other thing that other people love, I may not have been working out because it would have been a chore to me. But the hula hoop has never been a chore. So it saved my life. I always say God and my hoop saved my life. How it became a business, that took a lot of doing of my husband. People would always tell me, you have something here. And it was after that heart attack that I had that I realized that I had something that there was a purpose behind it. It became an LLC, and it's been for 5 years now. It's just it's an entity of itself. It's really taken off. I've done different events. I even taught Kim Coles of
Okay.
Living Single,
Yeah, let me
Sinclair
see.
James,
Yeah.
how to hula hoop.
All right. Let
So I
you-
get to share. I've taught local news forecasters how to hula hoop, and it's a baby boomer, and people love it. And what they realize about it is you're working out, but your focus is so much on trying to keep that hula hoop up that you don't realize that you're working out.
Yeah. So you saying for the last 5 years how it's grown into the entity that it has. A lot of times people don't realize that to start a business really, everybody thinks when they say starting a business, they think you have to have a lot of capital and everything like that. Um,
No,
for the ones who are watching them might have ideas about starting a business, but think that they have to have a grand amount of capital.
no.
Walk them through what all you did, because I know from me starting my business is really I've had really little capital, but a good dream, but a
Right.
determination. So
Well, first of all, you have to have um, a product. My product was, and I actually sell hula hoops now too. But
okay,
my product was hula hooping, and the other product, of course, is I. You need a hula hoop to hula up, so you have to have a product. You have to have a business plan, and a lot of people. I am not in the negative. My is in the green. Most people think that you need a bid, that you need a building. Well, before you have a building, you have to have followers. So you get a build. It's not always build it and they will come.
right.
You have to have the followers first. So I started with small means and just little small. I hula hoop when I had the heart attack. I was at the pavilion in Trotwood, um, and I continued. I have to say that God gave me a purpose, and ironically, me having a heart attack has actually helped my business because people find it fascinating that I was hula hooping, doing what I love when I had the heart attack. But that opened up the doors for it to continue to grow to where it's beginning to grow. But my biggest thing is if you love it, if you have to, you can't. If you're doing it to get money, then that's gonna always be your focus. But if your passion, I was doing this before and
Yeah,
I was getting paid for it. And people were, I would. My husband hate for me to say it because he's a money man, but I would do this for free because I love it. But I always have to pinch myself that people are paying me to do what I love. So you have to have the true passion for it. And business thing I can say about business, if you could do this and make a penny a day, then everything else will come. You have to love what you're doing. And it makes it easy to get up and think about it every day. I get up in the morning, the first thing I'm thinking about is, I have me an action plan. I listen to a lot of inspirational messages about going because there has been, I've hula hooped. I've had the building where I was the only one in there hula hooping and nobody showed up. And you have to be okay with that,
right,
you know,
right.
because 1 minute there's nobody. And then I've had it where I don't have enough hula hoops and space for people to come. And either way, and like I tell, you have to be okay with not getting that like, you keep going because eventually somebody is going, to like it and someone is going to see your passion and somebody is going to also want to be a part of your passion. So I'm excited. I just got a partnership with Kettering Health Medical Network, and that just comes from people understanding and seeing my passion and thinking, hey, you've had this heart attack, but you also have got this business that, people can benefit from. So it's, supply and demand.
That's right. And just speaking about I like what you were talking about. If it's something that you're passionate about, it makes it so much easier. That's one of the things that I talk with the participants for the nonprofit that I help start, where we help restored and returning citizens come home and become, entrepreneurs and building business owners. And we talk to them about that a lot about, if you find something that you really enjoy, why not do it? Because it's nothing like getting paid for your passion,
Nothing
because
like
now
getting paid.
it doesn't seem like right. It doesn't seem like a job. And I understand because like at the end of the day, like we run our classes Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It's a 12-week class. And some days I'm tired, but then when it's time for me to either do it on Zoom at 5 o'clock or it's time for us to meet in person, I seem to get that second boost of energy because as our
Right,
participants come in and they start, and I know that
right.
I'm doing this for the right reason. So I understand what you're talking about. So what are do you have a website or how would, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you or find out, or even buy, now that I know that you sell hula hoops, if they wanted to buy some of your products, how would they go about doing that?
Well, I do have a website. It's hoopfitness.net. You
Okay.
can reach me there. I also have a page, Hoop Fitness, and of course, I'm on Facebook. You can inbox me there as well.
Okay. We're gonna make sure that's all in the description when this goes when it airs this week and everything, so that people know. I'm going to have to check out those hula hoops because with me, you're teasing my girlfriend. She was talking about how much she used to hula hoop and she could do it on her arm and all. I might have to get her and say, show it to me then. So we can relive our childhood here. So I understand you have an event coming up this week in Dayton. Next week in Dayton. Let's talk a little bit about that. What is that and what day is it?
Well, this is the Dakota Center, and it's pretty much, Greg, continuation of what you and I are talking about. I'm going to be speaking to women. I'm going to be demonstrating the hula hoop because a lot of people think, that, oh, I used to be able to do that, but I can't do that anymore. You'd be surprised. My model is give me 5 minutes. I've taught 82-year-olds, stroke survivors how to hula hoop. So yes, you can hula hoop. So I'm going to share my heart story about exactly what happened to me on that day I had my heart attack, and then we'll be demonstrating the hula hoop. And I will be doing these type of events throughout the summer. And then I actually at the end of the summer, it's going to be here in Dublin. I have an annual event called Hoop for Your Heart, where Mr. Vincent Ward is my this year's host. He hosted back in 2019 pre-COVID, but you have to stay tuned because it's going to be some very interesting people you might have heard of before that's going to be a part of that event. But it's a full day of fitness. I call it finding something you love and move, because one of the things that after my heart attack, prior to my heart attack, Greg, I want everybody hula hooping. But even when I speak, I tell people that I understand hula hooping isn't for everybody.
Right.
So my motto is find something that you love to do that involve moving and move. So that's what I share with people.
So what time will your event be this coming up Wednesday?
Going to be at the Dakota Center at 11 o'clock from noon, and I will have two ladies. One who's with me all the time, who will help me demonstrate. Another one is a young lady who will be with me because it's important for people to understand that heart attacks don't just happen to the old. There
Right.
are young people that are dying from heart attacks in women, so it's important for them to understand as well.
So if any of the ladies who are watching this wanted to attend, how would they do it? Would they have to register to come or just
Some contact the Dakota Center. Her name is Rosalind Smith. Let her know that you're interested in coming. From what I understand, it's going to be in the gym, which is large enough and COVID safe enough for everybody to attend. But just contact the Dakota Center, speak with Rosalind Smith, and she will get you registered.
okay? And so any other events that you have coming up over the year, please feel free to let us know or post them on our Facebook page, Black Community Blackboard page, because that's what that's there for us, so that we
Okay.
can get the information out about different events, about, businesses who have anything going on. Because, like I say, there's so many good things that we're doing in our community, but we don't hear about them. Um,
Right.
a lot of times it's because, we have events that overlap each other,
Right.
and we're trying to one thing we're trying to do down here is we're trying to put together a community blackboard, as what we said, where we can have a place where we can all let everybody know what's going on, so that we can support each other's events, get the
Absolutely.
most outcome and everything.
Absolutely.
So Tasha, this has been real fun. It's been real interesting. You know, anything you would like to tell the community before we get out of here?
One last thing, just understand that heart disease and stroke is the number one killers. 1 out of 3 will die from a heart attack, but you don't have to. It's 80% survivable, but you have to do your part. Find something that you love. Doesn't have to be hula hooping, but if you want to know how to hula hoop, you come to the right place
That's
and
right.
move.
That's right. So for everybody, please go on to hoopsfitness.net. Check out her video. I'm going to have in the description and everything her video from American Heart Association. It's a very good video. I suggest you ladies watch it, or not just ladies but men also. And her story is very inspirational. I mean, I think I got a lot out of her because I known her for a while, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know all of this that went on with you, Tasha. Tell you the truth, and then I
Yeah,
watched it. I was like, wow. So it's good to hear that and to see where you're at now. It's a very good thing. Those it's stories like that that we need to highlight, the inspirational ones. Like, look, I'm a survivor. So anybody who thinks that they're going through things, you can understand you can be a survivor too.
absolutely.
And I appreciate you taking the time out,
Well,
coming
thank
out
you
here
for
talking
having me.
about they talk about the health
Okay.
of the Black community, the hula hoops. Hopefully, some of the ladies will call Rosalind and get signed up to come on over there and on Wednesday the 31st from 11 a.m. to
First,
12 p.m.
later,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Yes. And
All righty. And you
all
don't need
right.
a hula hoop. We'll have some for you to demonstrate. All righty.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
No problem. And for everybody, please keep supporting this network. I mean, this channel. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, get the information out there. If you know anybody who has a story or a business or organization that you think that we need to highlight, please have them get in touch with us at blackcommunityblackboard@gmail.com, or they can call me directly at 937-581-3507. We're always looking for those, like I like to call them, those hidden gems in our community, like the one we just had today, to talk about the positive things that are happening in our community. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you have anything that you would like to donate monetarily to help this channel keep going good, we'll take it. If not, this channel will still keep going because we do it, like we said, for the passion of our community, not for the monetary gain. We believe that this stuff should be given away, not
Amen.
the game. It's opposite of what I knew in the streets, Tasha, where we were told the game's supposed to be sold, not told. I believe this is supposed to be told, not sold. So that
Amen.
being said, thank you again for having the time to come out and talk with us. And I hope Wednesday is a success. And don't forget any other events you have coming up. Post them on the Facebook page so we have people to know about them.
I definitely will.
All right.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
All righty. You too.
All right.